Now, I don't usually like to talk about politics in videos, but it's a bit hard to avoid talking about what Musk has been up to in recent days, weeks, indeed months, increasingly being involved with politics, not just in the States, but in the UK and indeed the rest of Europe as well. And I guess in this video, because I'm a bit more involved with what Musk does, I have been for years, been a Tesla owner for many years now, nearly 10 years, and I have Tesla Powerwalls and gateways, and I'm a big fan of what Musk has achieved, absolutely, there's no question about that. A very intelligent chap, I think we'll all agree. But why recently has he taken such political statements? And ultimately what I think I'd like to get from my audience, which I think are probably more involved with Musk and have more knowledge about what Musk does compared to the general public as such, because a lot of my audience own electric cars and we've been following what he does and we're into clean energy and such like. It would be interesting to get feedback from you as to what you think of the situation, and ultimately let's get down to the question as well that focuses on what relates to us is, does Musk's antics or are his antics going to affect sales of Tesla? I do hear quite a lot already that I wouldn't buy a Tesla anymore because I don't agree with Elon Musk. I don't agree with him interfering. I just don't like him. It's quite a common statement, if I'm honest, you know. And obviously, I think a lot of these statements are from people that maybe don't follow him quite so much, or maybe they do. And so like I said, I don't really like to comment on politics, but I just couldn't really let this topic slide by, and I think we need to address it. I don't want people to think that I'm not going to discuss it because ultimately I'm involved with selling Teslas, you know, and is that an issue? I'm trying to hide it. Well, not at all, it doesn't matter to me. I deal with Teslas on the used market. It's a very different situation, and they're still very good products, and they're great electric cars, and actually we haven't seen it impact sales, but I am hearing more and more just comments from people in circles and people we speak to saying, well, you know, I would have considered it, but I don't like Elon Musk, I don't agree with what he's up to, and so I wouldn't buy a Tesla anymore, I'm going to go and buy something else. So is Elon getting involved with politics but giving away sales? Is this going to affect his business? Well, I think it probably already has, and I think increasingly will do. But, you know, is he actually doing the right thing? And therefore, should the number of sales being affected actually be a problem? Well, maybe he does have knowledge of stuff that general public doesn't. I mean, I do agree generally that the media can be very well influenced. It is used to influence people. It isn't always very truthful at all. I've always been very skeptical of media, and the knowledge people have in politics is often steered by media, and we're fed certain stuff. We never know all of it. I always find it quite hard to really take on board a lot of detailed opinion on politics and statements, or indeed cases of events and scandals, because we're only usually knowledgeable on what we've been fed by media. And I guess now that Musk has got this his ex-Twitter, ex-empire, you know, he does get fed a lot of information. It's about free speech. Totally agree with all that, of course. And ultimately, I guess if he has knowledge of something and he doesn't share that knowledge or that opinion, then he could be criticised for doing so. You know, maybe that is kind of his point with some of the current political members, I guess. And, you know, so is what he's doing wrong or bad? Well, I think, you know, it amazes me. Every day it seems to sort of spiral into another level of amazement. The post yesterday was, you know, kind of sounded like, should America take over Britain and end the tyranny? Which I thought was particularly bizarre, rather than just sharing an opinion about what he likes or doesn't like, or that somebody should be taking action against child abuse scandals and such like. So it's a strange one to talk about, and I'm not going to put across any of my personal opinions at all. You know, I've always remained very open and subjective about this kind of stuff. It's interesting to learn it's facts and stories, and you never really know what to believe in the media, as I say. And I guess if someone does have knowledge of certain stuff, then that should be made public, of course, especially if it affects the child abuse scandals like we've been hearing about. But you know, is this true? Is he just kind of heard the story and getting straight involved without really having full knowledge? It seems to be a very dangerous game he's playing. And it's just been amazing, hasn't it? So I really want to hear in this video your thoughts, opinions and comments. And like I say, I think generally most people that watch our channel would generally have a bit more knowledge about Musk's antics rather than the guy walking a dog down the street who read the headline in the paper. So I'd be kind of interesting to see what you guys have to say about what he's been up to. Of course, if it affects sales, do you agree with what he's doing? Do you agree in principle, but he's going the wrong way about it? Is he just being too interfering? Is he just getting a bit big for his boots? You know, is it a bit like, oh, all right, calm down? You know, does he seem to think of himself as a bit of a world leader now? The world president seems to be. When he was getting involved with the politics in the US, you can't help but feel he's getting into that, and he's gone in to be the next prime minister, is what I said, or the next president. So, you know, what are his motivations in this? Is it actually just sharing transparency and free speech and exposing stuff, or is it just meddling for meddling's sake with another motive behind it? I really want to hear all your opinions on this. I'm still amazed every day with some of the headlines that come through, and I do, of course, you know, follow what he says on X, and some of his statements seem strong, absolutely, increasingly far right wing. It's causing a lot of anger, discussion. What exactly are his motives behind it? It's hard for me to, even now, you know, he's trying to be transparent, but how do you really know what is true and how much does he really know? You know, I mean, for Christ's sake, there's a fair bit about electric cars and rocket science, neuroscience, tunnel boring, you know, and now politics, and now every single legal case, and now every single political view, every single politician. It does seem a little bit much. So, you know, what is going on? What is going on? But again, let's focus down. Now, relating to what we do, which is sell electric cars, if you genuinely were interested in buying a Tesla, have you changed your mind? You're now going to buy a different brand because of Musk's antics. It'd be good to kind of get almost like a poll of how many people genuinely would. I don't just want a bloke down the road who go, yeah, I wouldn't buy one now. Like, you know, genuinely, if you were actually interested in buying a Tesla, but now won't, then it'd be really interesting to hear that. You know, how many people globally is this going to be? Certainly around Europe, I think it'd be quite substantial now. So yes, let me know in opinions. I wonder if we can create some kind of poll somehow. That would be interesting as well, to see how that comes out. I'm just trying to think of how we could do that. So maybe if someone has an idea on that, would be good to know. Also, I was kind of thinking this morning, you know, how many people are currently Tesla owners that now almost feel ashamed of driving the Tesla to work? You're in your Tesla, you're probably quite happy with the car. They're good cars, aren't they? You know, they're fantastic things. But you know, are you becoming increasingly self-aware? I think I was starting to get a bit of that this morning driving to work. I'm thinking, I'm in a Tesla. I can imagine people looking at me going, Tesla, Elon Musk thing, he's an idiot, you know, he shouldn't be meddling with this stuff, and you're a fool for driving one. You know, is that a bit of an opinion now? Is anyone who's a Tesla owner now want to just get rid of it and not have a Tesla anymore, and not be associated with the whole Musk scenario that's going on? But maybe also you think Musk is absolutely right. He now has a lot of knowledge. X is kind of a knowledge portal, isn't it? Allegedly all about, you know, truth, transparency, and free speech. So, you know, is he right? Does he have this knowledge? You know, is he building actual true stories and being able to now expose when people aren't doing something properly, correctly, morally, ethically? You know, is what he's doing actually good? You know, do you have that opinion as well? Because I think too, a lot of people are just dismissing what he's doing as just being, what's this meddling, interfering guy doing? You know, he just thinks he's the big boss of the world. But, you know, maybe what he's trying to achieve is correct, or is exposing where people are covering up different stories and such like. So, again, I'm really interested to hear from my audience what you currently think of Musk and his antics and his involvement with the politics in the UK and Europe and America, to be honest, as well. As an American, do you see it differently to how we see it? Possibly so, because naturally we're going to be more defensive because it's kind of attacking a number of elements or people in our political system. But, you know, so as American, do you feel it differently? I think the weirdest post for me has to be the bit that, you know, it kind of implied that he did a poll that should America kind of take over Britain. I was like, where does that come from? How does that even happen? I don't know. So it's a strange one, isn't it? And I didn't want people to think that I'm just shying away from it because it would affect me and sales. Well, look, it's all happening out there. I'm just interested to see what you think, what your opinion is on this. Is he right? Is he wrong? Where's the line? And is it impacting Tesla sales? You let me know in the comments below. I'll be very interested to read those. Thanks for watching. I hope that's been, well, I was going to say useful or interesting, but probably not. But I guess I want to hear your opinions on this, so do leave them down below. I'll take a look at that. Thank you very much for watching.